The storm clawed at the heavens, tearing through the night with a ferocity that could not be tamed. Beneath the blackened skies, an ancient enclave stood in defiance of time, its walls weathered by centuries of secrets and bloodshed. Within its shadows, a figure cradled the impossible, an infant glowing faintly in her arms, her breath shallow and fleeting. She was not meant to exist, not in this world or the next. Her birth a fracture in the sacred laws of two warring realms. Her mother, Selene, once the pride of the vampire coven, now trembled in silence, her once steely resolve shattered by the weight of the child she had sworn to protect. This was no ordinary life brought into the world. The blood of the pack and the coven ran through her veins, an abomination to the laws that governed both. A prophecy whispered through generations had foretold of her arrival, a child cursed with emptiness, destined to bear the weight of powers that would never awaken. And yet, as Selene's hands trembled over her daughter's fragile form, the faint flicker of a heartbeat echoed louder than the storm itself. It was not just a life she held, but a question, a challenge hurled against destiny. What price would be paid for this child's existence? What horrors would unfold if the balance of their world tipped in her favor or against it? Far beyond the enclave, the cries of battle pierced the night air. Adric, the pack's fiercest warrior, tore through the storm with desperation in his eyes. He sought the Magus, the keeper of forbidden knowledge, the only one who could answer the question that plagued him. Could the child survive? And if so, at what cost? Every step he took across the bloodied ground felt heavier than the last. The whispers of the ancients had spoken of this moment, but none had dared to imagine it would come to pass. The storm intensified, lightning illuminating the figure of the Magus, standing at the enclave's edge. His hollow eyes stared into the abyss, as if daring it to swallow him whole. He did not move as Adric approached, his voice cutting through the tempest like a blade. "You know what she is," Adric growled, his fury barely contained. "What must be done to save her?" The Magus turned slowly, his expression unreadable, his gaze piercing through the veil of rain and shadow. "To save her," he repeated, the words laced with a gravity that even the storm could not drown out. "Do you not see, Wolf? She is the storm. To save her is to destroy what holds this fragile world together. To let her die is to invite a darkness no prophecy could contain." In that moment, as the world around them trembled, the infant stirred. Her cry, a sound so small and fragile, brought the storm to a momentary halt. All eyes turned toward the figure within the enclave, where Selene now knelt, her face pale and resolute. The Magus's words echoed in the silence that followed, each syllable a dagger in the hearts of those who heard them. "The curse is not in her blood," he said, his voice low and haunting. "It is in her choice. She will shape the end. She will decide what remains." And as the storm returned with a vengeance, it became clear. This child, born of enemies, forged in chaos, would not be allowed to live quietly. Every force in the world, both light and shadow, would rise to claim her, to control her, or to destroy her. Her story had only just begun, and the world would tremble before it ended.
Welcome to Rare Tales Unfold, a place where the extraordinary comes to life, where each story takes you beyond the boundaries of imagination and leaves you questioning what lies just beyond the shadows. If you're someone who craves tales that stir the soul, ignite wonder, and weave unforgettable characters into the fabric of your mind, you're in the perfect place. Before we begin this journey, take a moment to join our growing family of story lovers. Tap the subscribe button to never miss a tale, and if you're already part of the fold, leave a like and share this adventure with someone who shares your love for the extraordinary. Stay with us until the end. This story promises more than just suspense and revelation. It holds a lesson that will linger long after the final word. Now, gather your thoughts, steady your breath, and prepare to step into the world of the cursed dawn.